Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, my name is Melissa Reed and I am a mixed media artist from Pennsylvania. So in front of me here, I have a 6-inch by 12-inch cradled board, which I have primed with Liquitex white gesso. Sometimes I prime my boards, sometimes I don't, but today I did since I'm going to be working on it with some collage. Those stencils are a set of number stencils that I picked up, and I will have a link for those as well as everything else in the description for you if you are interested. And I had made some stencil collage papers, which I'm pulling out here. I did not include that process in the video because I am going to be doing a video on just a collage paper stock up, and that's going to be included in that. So make sure you look out for that video coming up in the future. So as a true intuitive artist, I did not start this video out with much of a plan. I knew I wanted to do numbers, and that's kind of what I had to go with. So I am just getting busy by gluing some of those down. I am using Liquitex matte medium on there. That is the more liquidy one, not the gel one. And I am just kind of randomly placing these numbers, thinking a little bit about how they might look next to each other, but not really being all that concerned. This is just going to be the first of many layers on here, so I don't know which, if any of these, are actually going to be visible when we get to a final product because I have no idea what that's going to look like. As I had mentioned, I'm an intuitive artist, and for me that means that I will usually just start a piece maybe with one small idea, maybe with none at all in mind, and I will just get started and each step informs the next, and it is a fun way for me to see what my true creativity can really make. So I am going to just get pretty much everything covered with these numbers and with just some of the leftover collage paper like I'm doing here. That doesn't actually have any numbers printed on it, but it does have a little bit of paint, and it's just knocking down the bright whiteness of that background a little bit there. So as I am getting this all covered up, I'm thinking about what I might want to do next, and I am pretty sure that I'm going to be using some more collage. So I went through my collage paper stash, which you would be so proud of me. I actually organized a little bit last week, and I do mean a very little bit. I went through one massive pile of papers. I still have about 6 others, but it's a start, and I'm going to give myself some grace there and be excited about the fact that I even did that much. So I did go through some of the ones that I just sorted and pulled out several that are similar in colors, but have maybe varying designs on them. And now these collage papers that I'm using now are mostly on tissue paper. Some of the ones with the numbers underneath you can see were printed on either book pages or music sheets. But I want to be able to see some of the underneath layers through, and by printing on tissue I can do that because they are transparent even with some of the acrylic on top. That there, I believe, is acrylic ink. Not 100% positive, but I do think that's acrylic ink. And a lot of those that I have are rather transparent too, so you can like see that I laid that down over top of a number, but yet you can still kind of see it coming through. Now, if some of these pieces that I'm adding look a little too square to me, I will intentionally go in and chew them up a little bit, either with the corner of an old gift card as you see there, or sometimes just with my brush. I'll kind of bunch it up a little bit just to make it not so square and perfect looking, because the type of art that I make is very imperfect looking, and that's the style that I like. This tissue design here is one of my more commonly used ones that I make myself out of a stencil that I also made myself. I've done several videos using this, and actually I think 2 or 3 videos now on how I make that, so make sure you check some of those out if you're interested. I will put one of those up at the on my end screen for you if you want to check it out. They're not the exact same colors as what I have going on already on there, but they're very similar and they work nicely together. So that's what this layer is going to be about. Still being fairly transparent so I can see some of what's underneath, but also getting some color on there in a way that works with the colors that I already have. Some of those pieces are a little bit cooler and some of them are a little bit warmer, so at first I'm not sure I'm going to like the way they look together, but they actually worked out nice and they gave it enough of a wake-up call. I feel like it was kind of getting a little bit sleepy and that solved that problem. So I'm also using edges and bits and pieces of my collage papers. That's just some white that I had on a brayer and I rolled it off on a sheet of tissue with there's a little bit of turquoise in there as well. But it's a good way to change up the surface without obliterating completely what you have going on underneath. But it does end up kind of tying everything together because that little bit of turquoise on there goes along with that bottom left hand turquoise color as well. So it's about cohesiveness and consistency. That's a good way if you're working in abstract to make sure that your pieces look like they make some kind of visual sense. I think that, in my opinion, that can be the difference between, quote, good and bad abstract art, because we can all look at something and know if it works or not, but sometimes we don't know exactly why. And I think a lot of the time what you're reacting to is that the foundational principles of art are being paid attention to, even though you're not working with realistically representational images. You still kind of have to keep those in mind to make your piece have that kind of consistency and visual harmony. Now, the sheets that I have there are some letters, and that spells out the word when, W-H-E-N. So I printed those with my stencils on the gel plate, and you can see they're very dark on the front, but they're also in reverse because that's the way I printed them. But I did that on purpose because I didn't want that dark sitting right on the surface. So, but because it is on tissue paper, when I flip it over, it still works because we can clearly see those letters, but they're not just like punch you in the face black that it was going to be too visually jarring with everything else. But I did want letters that were going to work in counterbalance to that number 8 that I have on the bottom there. So just wanted to mention why I did all of that. Again, when I do my video coming up here on a collage paper restock, I'm going to be doing some numbers and letters, various text, and just some different things. So look for that coming up in the future. It's a way for me to get my supply restocked, but also a way to show you how I make a lot of the papers that I use. I wanted to have that 8 partially covered up, but not completely obliterated, so I had one more piece of that paper that I used up top, and it just covers it a tiny little bit. I didn't want it to be in direct competition with the letters because they are the focal point, and you can tell they're the focal point because of where I put them and also because of the intensity of the color. I decided though that it was a little too dark around, so I did a couple of things to fix that. First thing I did was lay down some plain strips of tissue. That is a way to mute different parts of your piece that maybe have a little too much intensity without ruining what you've got going on underneath. You can still see that. But then I decided it was still just a little too much, so I wanted to go in around the letters with my Rowney white acrylic ink, and I watered that down a bit because I didn't want it to be too intense itself. And I'm just going in there with a variety of brushes. That is, I think, like a maybe half-inch square brush, and then I also use a rigger brush, which is just like a thin liner brush to get really in between there. And I do spend some time here just going around each of the letters. Because I added water to this ink and just because of the nature of the ink itself, it's somewhat transparent, or at least I should say translucent. So you can see what's going on underneath, but it's lightening up the surface beautifully there in exactly the perfect way. And while I'm working on this, I just wanted to thank you all so much for joining me today. And if you like what I've got going on here and wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and a hype, it really helps out the channel a lot. I'm trying to get this pushed out to as many people as possible. And, well, you know, YouTube does its YouTube things, so I kind of have to ask you all to do the YouTube things as well. So if you wouldn't mind doing those things for me, and I appreciate all of the new subscribers. Thank you so much and welcome. I put out a new video every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and also a new series called Sunday Morning Inklings every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time as well. So please check out those if you would. So you can already see the difference between the letters on the right and the ones I'm working there on the left with the lightness, and I think it really just made it stand out enough so that, because it was all sort of just kind of bleeding together and you could see it, but it didn't look purposeful, I suppose is the right way to say it. So now with these additions of the light areas, you can really tell what's going on. While I am putting this white on there, I am thinking about, do I want to do anything else to it, or is this going to be finished? And I do think that it is going to be finished after I get this done. The only other thing that I'm going to do is go around the edge with a dark charcoal and just kind of smudge it around. It just gives the piece a finished look, I feel. And I just do that. I lay a little bit of charcoal right along the side and smudge it in with my finger. And you'll be able to see here at the end when I show you the finished piece what that looks like. I do that on quite a few of my pieces. Just adding a few finishing details, and I'm going to go in and show you what we ended up with. All right, and here's everything as it ended up. I think it turned out really cool. I love using the idea of numbers and letters. That's something that I have used a lot in my work in the past and will continue to do so. So let me know what you think, and don't forget to look for my collage paper restock video, which will be coming out within the next couple of weeks. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do it next week. I was going to, but then I had another idea, so we'll see what actually ends up getting posted for you here, but it is going to be coming. So thank you all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you back here again for another video. Thank you so much. Take care.